So talk to me about Top Gun Maverick. Like, what's that like, and how you feel about everything and taking it all in?
It's been a wild ride. It's been amazing. I mean, it's like I don't know if you guys have seen the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be a part of a $1 billion movie, and you know, fighter jets are back. You know, flight suits are back.
And you're a real pilot? You actually fly a plane?
Yeah, I got my pilot's license after the movie. Tom Cruise got me my pilot's license.
So you like fly yourself everywhere? You just fly all over?
I mean, I'll fly myself everywhere. That would be a little exhausting, but you know, especially on this press tour, you're kind of like you're not sleeping very much.
Yeah.
So, but no, I've been flying myself and my friends around. We go to Catalina, Napa, Vegas. You know, you can make your way around a little bit.
That sounds amazing. I have to ask this: what kind of music do you listen to while you're flying?
Well, I listen to all sorts of stuff. When I was on Top Gun, we would fly in this little extra 300, and I would listen to like all these like Springsteen and like these old like kind of American power ballads. Now I'm probably more like, because I still have to listen to the radio, so I'm more like movie soundtracks, things like that, where I can still hear chatter. Because if you listen to too many lyrics, I'll just miss people calling for directions and things like that.
Oh my goodness! So you have like one ear in of music, and then the
No,
other.
I have like this full headset, but I just have to kind of keep in the back of my head, make sure nobody's calling my tail number.
Oh my. Okay.
You know, I just got to keep it safe up there. I don't want to be like completely distracted.
Ooh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And then you grew up in Texas. So how did you get into acting as a kid?
Yeah, I grew up in Austin. I did some like musical theater as a kid. I did like The Music Man.
Music Man.
Yeah, that was my first play. And then yeah, just Austin was like kind of a booming film scene, so I did that a bit. And then actually I did this movie called The Great Debaters when I was 17 years old.
You were 17?
17. Denzel Washington directed it. Great movie if you haven't seen it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wow, look at that guy. Long time ago. Yeah, so I did that when I was 17, and then Denzel was the one who kind of encouraged me to move out to LA and give this a shot.
He did?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, and you dressed up for Oprah at a table read? What was that?
Oh, yeah.
Please tell me about that.
It's a weird story. I don't think I've ever told this story to anybody, so brace for impact here. I was 17 at the time when I was auditioning. The character was supposed to be in college, so I thought, you know, he had to look a little older. So Denzel told me, he's like, hey, the producers think you're a little young for the role, so just come, like, look a little old, carry yourself a little bit different to win the role. Oprah's in the room, Forrest Whitaker, Denzel, I, like, had to bring it. So for me, that tuxedo that you saw me wear, I wore that to a table read, which, if anybody knows what a table read is, it's, like, the most casual thing of all time. It's like everybody's in sweats, and the guy in the tuxedo does not look cool or sane. So, yeah, so I literally wore a tuxedo to this table read, 17 years old, in the middle of, like, I think it was Shreveport, Louisiana, and delivered my speech directly to Oprah and Forrest Whitaker and Denzel, and I ended up getting the role. So
you got the role, so
it
paid off. I want to go back.
Yeah.
So, what was it that Denzel said to you to encourage you to, you know?
Denzel was just basically saying, he just said, you know, it's not gonna be an easy thing. I don't know anybody in Hollywood when I moved out here from Austin. And he just said, look, if you're gonna bet on yourself, bet on yourself. You know, jump in with both feet and just do it. Because I just had a lot of friends who moved out to LA and just, you know, moved back with their tail between their legs. Their personality was gone, you know, a lot of failure. It's a tough town. So, but Denzel really gave me the confidence. He said, you got it, and do it. So I'm really glad I took that advice. Yeah.
It's a good thing you did.
Yeah.
Because so your family looks like they're fun, and y'all throw a lot of theme parties. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys. I don't know if anybody. If you guys follow me on like social media, you'll see how weird and bananas my family is. But we're known for throwing theme parties as a kid. Oh yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a weird angle of me. Don't look too long at that. Yeah, as a kid, like we'd have this whole part in our house where it was just like costumes, right? So as like even on shopping trips, we'd go to like Walmart, but we'd all dress up in like different outfits. Like there was this one time where we dressed up as like different animals, and I was like a gorilla, so I like grabbed a bunch of bananas in Walmart and was like running around. And they got kind of freaked out. I don't know what they thought was going on, but they shut the doors of the Walmart and they put on the PA. They were like, "Gorilla, turn yourself in." So in one of those like little circular racks, I had to strip down to my underwear, leave the gorilla costume, and get clothes from the rack.
From the rack.
And check out with my mom. I didn't steal them. I paid for them. I just paid for them on my body. And so like, you know, we've been throwing these theme parties. I just feel like theme parties, people feel like they're somebody else, and people just tend to drop their guard and have a blast. So yeah, we've been doing that. I think our last one was Space Cowboy themed, where I basically took this barn in Texas and I turned the whole barn into space. So I had like smoke machines and laser lights.
That's exciting. Everybody
had cowboy hats and spacesuits on. Again, it's a weird family. I don't know.
It sounds like a fun family to me.
Yeah, it's just this amazing story about the two most famous aviator duo that's set during the Korean War. These guys pulled all these daring missions, and it's the first African-American naval aviator, played by Jonathan Majors. It's Jesse Brown, and it's Tom Hudner. I play Tom Hudner. It's just this amazing story of how far you're willing to go for a wingman. It's a very American story. It's a very human story. It's a perfect family movie. You want to go see it for Thanksgiving. But it's just awesome. It's I'm so proud of this movie, and it's really been a satisfying ride.
Looks amazing. So, I mean, I don't know how you eat cake in the middle of this, but Tom Cruise sends you cakes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tom Cruise has this amazing tradition every holiday. He sends the Tom Cruise cake. The Cruise cake is a very famous thing. If you've worked with Tom Cruise or done a Tom Cruise movie, you get this Tom Cruise cake, and over the course of time, it's turned into this like global operation where every Christmas he'll send out, I don't know how many, could be thousands. I have no idea how many cakes go out, but it's the most delicious cake you've ever had. It's this like coconut bundt cake.
That sounds good.
And so my friends that have tried it, they love it so much that they've now, they hit me up like right around December 1st. They're like, "Hey, has it arrived yet?" So now I have like a party at my house where I'll have the cruise cake. It's my cruise cake party, and I'll invite people over to try a bite or two of the cruise cake.
It's a party for the cake.
It's a cake party, just the cruise cake, but it's just one. I only have one cake, so you can't get greedy. Like I really have to limit people. I can't let them come back for seconds. You know, it's like everybody's gonna try the cake, and it's usually demolished by the end of the night.
Well, next time, save me a piece, okay?
I got
Please. I'm so happy to have you back. Thank you for being here. You see this? Wow. Oh, my goodness. You got them going crazy. Okay, y'all.
Yes.
Does this happen everywhere you go?
Does this happen wherever you go?
I don't know. We got you here today, which I am grateful for. What you think of Lifeguard Wally?
That is the first poem I've ever had a lifeguard read to me. I like it.
Well, you're on a whirlwind. Like, it has to be amazing. Like, do you plan on slowing down anytime soon?
You know, I've been a broke actor out in Hollywood for long enough. I'm really, you know, when they say when the sun's shining, you got to make hay. So
yes,
I'll do my best here.
Yes, you got to keep it going while the iron is hot, right? So, because you've been acting and working for like 2 decades, like, do you feel like you finally arrived yet? Have you had that moment like, ooh, I've arrived?
No, I think the only difference is I don't have to like sneak into parties anymore.
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I mean, that was like probably a big difference. Like the Vanity Fair party when I first moved out to LA, I stayed on top of a hotel in a tuxedo to sneak down to go to the party, but I got there too early. It was too many movie stars, and I stuck out like a sore thumb and was immediately kicked out.
Whoa.
This time I actually got invited, which was a real
Yeah, of course you got invited. I mean, do you see how everybody is cheering? Man, so at this, I mean, because I get mistaken for people all the time. So do you get mistaken for different actors at this point?
You know, I used to get a Scott Eastwood a little bit, and then I don't know if you saw this like Justin Hartley thing that went around.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I actually didn't go to the Golden Globes, but Justin Hartley did, and yeah, we ran into each other that night, and it was really funny. It was like the Spider-Man seeing each other. You know what I mean?
Do you think y'all favor at all? Do you see it?
No, I mean, Justin Hartley is a very handsome, tall, elegant man. I will be his the Robin to his Batman any day.
Oh, wait, listen at that. Well, I mean, you're both handsome, so you can't go wrong. I take it as a compliment, right?
Yeah.
So do you have moments where you feel like you ever want to quit? Sometimes.
You know, I remember there was a moment when I was out here early on. I was living in this garage in Van Nuys. I had to like run to my door to get past like this dog. And I remember I auditioned for Friday Night Lights, was like my favorite show at the time. And I remember like missing out on it. I completely blew the audition. My grandfather had just passed away, and I just was like, you know, I was just kind of hitting the skids, and it's like Hollywood's tough, you know, and a lot of people say really terrible things. So it's, you know, there was never a moment I thought I was gonna quit, but there was a moment where I was like, this is a town that will test you.
Yes.
You know, and I'm really glad that I got to go through that gauntlet, because I really appreciate where I am right now.
Right. I feel like it's always, I agree with that. Because it's always, to me, it's like right when you feel like, okay, I don't think I could make it any further, that's when it kicks off. At least it did for me. You know, it's like, okay, I don't know if I can make it. And then it's like, wow, I got the part. So it's that's the test to let you know, keep going, y'all. As soon as you feel like it's about to end right there, you giving up, that's your breakthrough. But we could take it from you, because you've been acting since you were a kid. So how did you balance school with your auditioning?
Well, yeah, so my first gig ever was the Music Man. It was as a musical that I got to be the understudy for Winthrop, and so I did a lot of theater. And then there was this one movie I got to do. It was called The Wendell Baker Story. It was like Luke Wilson and Owen Wilson and Will Ferrell. I was so excited. And so the stunt is I play a paper boy who gets hit by a car. Luke Wilson and I have this kind of like. There I am, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We have this kind of like relationship where he just hates me. I always throw papers at him. He hits me with his car. So, you know, my mom and I have like really been teammates in this journey. Like none of this would have been possible if like she hadn't driven me to auditions and really helped me out. But I had exceeded the amount of times I was allowed to leave class at the time. So she was no longer allowed to sneak me out for auditions. So there was one time like in high school where she just knocked on the portable door and said, hey, can I borrow Glenn for a quick second? And she ran me out to the parking lot, and there was a stunt guy waiting in the parking lot. He hit me with his car like, 8, 9 times.
Whoa.
Flew over the top, and then she put me right back in class.
That is commitment. You deserve to make it after all of that.
Yeah, good mom.
That's a great mom.
Yeah.
Take it from you. Okay, so tell us this. What's this? I hear about this TikTok that went viral with the students from your middle school not being able to wear backpacks anymore to school. What they got to do with you?
Yeah, so I used to be, like, my family, like anybody that knows my family is like, we love like a good prank. So it was the last day of 8th grade, Canyon Vista Middle School. I wanted to pull a prank, so I decided to release 3,000 crickets in the hallway right before lunch.
Oh
so
my God.
There's like this funnel in the hallway where everybody just sprints out of class and runs through. I thought it'd be funny to release 3,000 crickets in that hallway right before the bell rang. So my buddies and I kind of got, I was sort of the Danny Ocean of this operation, and we kind of like, figured out the timing. You get the lunch pass here, you get the lunch pass here, and you grab the crickets in the woods, you bring them into the bathroom. So it was all set up. We had the timing down to literally the exact minute.
Oh my God.
And it was all going according to plan, but I decided to go rogue, and I had like a little bit of beef with a teacher at the time, and I released a stink bomb in her classroom.
Oh my goodness.
Right beforehand, and I got caught. So I was in the principal's office while I was supposed to be releasing crickets. And so word gets around to the guys, like, Glenn got caught, like, what's going on? They continue with the operation. So I'm in the principal's office, which has it's got like a window, so I can see the hallway where all this is going down. So he's like literally being like, you release a stink bomb, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden you hear crickets, and people just scream and are flying, and like crickets are flying around.
Oh my God!
Everybody's losing it, and he goes, did you have something to do with this? And I go, dude, I've been in here the whole time.
I've been in here. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. So anyway, now the people at Canyon Vista Middle School have to wear translucent backpacks.
Because of you.
Because, you can smuggle crickets, I guess.
Okay, this is amazing. And then did you ever get to formally apologize to the school or to the kids at all?
I have not apologized.
Would you like to?
I think I should.
I think you should. Would you like to give it to the camera and give a good old apology right here?
Right here?
Yes.
Canyon Vista Middle School, home of the Mustangs. I want to formally apologize for your backpacks. And I would also like to apologize to, she will not be named, my English teacher. I no longer have serious beef with you, and I apologize for making your classroom smell that way. Anyway, I hope the backpacks are working out. I'll come back and visit soon. Thank you for understanding. It was worth it.
Good job. Before you were a big movie star, you were a Manny?
I wouldn't call it Manny. I thought there was probably a cooler title than Manny, maybe. I really coach sports teams. I coach sports teams, and there was a, he's now, I would say one of my better friends. It's fun how, I guess being a Manny for a kid, he grows up and becomes a great man, and it was really a great way to kind of get to know the city. And you don't have that many talents, but hopefully you can offer some and continue to live out in Hollywood. It's better than a lot of other jobs out here.
Right. It sounded like you were a great role model.
Yeah. It's good. I didn't grow up with a younger brother, so it was really nice to have one.
That's really nice. And right? So you're, like I said, a great role model, and then you're also very close with your family. Your parents been married for over 40 years?
40 years.
That is awesome.
Mom and Dad. There's Mama Powell there, and then the OG, the original Glen Powell.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's at the Jefferson Memorial. That's exactly where my dad proposed over 40 years ago. They used to, go and listen to music and have picnics there. So it's so special
beautiful
to get to go back there with them to the site where it all started.
That is so beautiful. Do they ever give you advice, love advice in your life?
They do give me love advice, because I do think love surviving that long in this world is really tough.
Yes.
And I think you do have to have some tricks. And I think for them, the thing that they always tell me is you got to find somebody with a sense of humor. Somebody, life is inevitably going to have highs and lows, but you always have to have somebody that can see the silver lining, the bright side of things, and just the humor, whether it's good or bad.
All right, more with Glen. We'll be right back. And we're back with Glen Powell. Okay, your new movie called Hitman. You wrote, produced, and starred in it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you tell everyone what it's about?
So Hitman is a story about a psychology professor, this true story of a real-life guy who found a knack playing an undercover hitman for the police department. But what made him different is that instead of just playing like a generic hitman when you sit across from somebody who you're trying to hire somebody to kill your business partner or your wife, he would play the fantasy of what you in particular thought a hitman is. And he would put on all these different characters. They called him the Laurence Olivier of fake hitman. So he was a really compelling character, and I found this article years ago, and I brought it to Richard Linklater, who's been a longtime friend and collaborator. I worked with him on one of my first movies, Fast Food Nation, when I was 14. And we ended up writing it together and bringing it to life. And it's just, that's me working with Rick at 14.
What is that full circle like working with him now?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, he's, at that moment, I remember exactly what was happening, where I was shooting. We were shooting at this school in Austin, and I remember, I've studied all of Rick's movies, and he was, I was in a creative writing class at the time, literally studying him and all his work. And so all these years later to write with him and collaborate with him and call him not even just like a hero, but like a friend, it's just awesome. It's just,
man, that's a huge achievement, that's for sure. Okay, is it true that he wrote you a letter back then, like a while ago, that you still have it?
Yeah, we did this movie called Everybody Wants Them together, which is like the spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused. If you haven't seen it, it's so fun. It's a baseball movie set in 1980. you know, and it's a blast. But Rick wrote me this letter right before we released the movie, and he just said, in the letter, he basically said, like, you have to separate the making of the movie from the releasing of the movie. You know, like, hold the experiences that you've made, the friendships you've made, the joy that you brought to that film set, and all of those stories, and you have to separate that from the releasing of the movie, when the critics get to it, the box office gets to it, all that stuff. Because, you know, so often in life we let, you know, we let the result influence how we feel about the making of something, all the joy that we put into it. So I find that letter, I always look at it because it's like, it's so important not to let other people's, what I would say, let other people yuck your yum, you know?
Yuck your yum. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the Jennifer Hudson Show YouTube channel. Check your local listings or visit jenniferhudsonshow.com to see when you can watch full episodes in your area. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.